Hello everybody, my name is Coldblood. I'm bringing out this video of me playing a board game. This is going to be the second playthrough of Welcome to. For those who don't know, I'm not doing like a full series or anything like I normally do. This is just an interactive playthrough, so if you want to play along, feel free to play along in this playthrough. I'll explain how that will work out in a second. But this is going to be me playing Welcome to. I did play a solo playthrough in a previous video, so feel free to go check that out if you want to see how the solo gameplay works and see how it did. I'm going to go ahead and start the background music here. We're going to go for a little bit more upbeat, kind of fun background music here. But we'll keep it low so it's not too distracting here. And, whoop, okay, calm down. And yeah, so we're going to play with multiple players. So if you want to play along at home, feel free to play along at home. Go ahead and go to Board Game Geek. They have some print files that you can print out with this. Some in black and white, some in color, and then grab yourself a sheet and then see if you can play along. Kind of play by video. So I will explain the rules all together, so that way anybody who is playing for the first time, doesn't know how the game goes, will know what's going on and can follow along properly. And then I will do a playthrough with this as well. So let me get a sample sheet actually. Here's my sheet here. I don't want to spoil my previous playthrough, so I'm going to use a different sample sheet. Okay. All right. So I have some previously played games here that I'm going to use for example purposes. So for explaining the game a little bit, just in case you're not familiar with the game and you don't really know what's going on, we're going to use those for teaching purposes. So we have 3 different little examples here of previously played games, and let's go and start. So in this game, your goal is to basically fill out your sheets and score points. As you can see in this particular game, this person for Awful Lawful, on their little town card, they scored points for here, and they got stuff going. For the purposes of teaching and for the purposes of learning the game, you can kind of ignore this section initially, and we'll just focus on this top section. So in this game, you're going to be filling in numbers and houses, going from lowest to highest. So note that this person has 5 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. So you can go in ascending order. And there's also ways for you to duplicate numbers, which there's none done here, so we're going to ignore that for now. But while doing that, you're going to be achieving goals, accomplishing goals, trying to fill it in so you can score points. There's reasons why you want to do certain things for certain reasons. And the reason why I'm kind of explaining it that way is because this sheet's not that great explaining it. So we'll use this one here for Workville. And on this one for Workville, what you can see is that there's some duplicated numbers here. There's a little bit more going on, a little bit more dynamic on the table. And actually, all the houses are filled out, which is one of the in-game conditions, so that's pretty cool. But at any rate, and also you can see this person scored a hefty amount of points, 105 points. So that is the generic idea. You're trying to fill in these houses for certain reasons to achieve goals. You're trying to score points, and the more points you score, the better you do. And yeah. So the way you will get your numbers is that there will be a deck. There will be 3 stacks of cards, which you'll try to stack these out as evenly as you can. This is when you're playing a multiplayer version. If you want to, for the solo rules, feel free to go check out the solo video, as I mentioned before. So you have 3 relatively even stacks, and what you're going to do is you're going to do it this way. That doesn't matter. And what you're going to do is you're going to flip the top card like so, and you're going to have 3 pairs. You're going to have 3 pairs, and those pairs are based on their columns. So what I mean by that is that you have 10 biz here, and then you have 8 park, and then you have 11 park. That's what I mean by that. So what those things mean is that you can choose this number, and you'll take this number, you'll write it down inside of your little board, wherever it fits. You have 3 different rows, so this goes from 0 to 15, this goes from 0 to 15, 0 to 15 on all of them. You can go higher than 15, you can go no lower than 0 though. But you can go on each individual row, but you only have 3 rows, so you have to very much manage your numbers, because you can run into situations to where you may not be able to fit a number because everything is already packed and there's no legal space for you to write, so you get an error. And errors are not great. But all it goes a long way to say that yeah, you take your number 11, and with the accompanying power is what you'll end up using. And there are 6 different such powers, and those powers are listed here for fences, real estate, biz, construction, pool, and park. So this is the with extra steps part. So this part here where you write down the number, that's the bingo part. And the extra steps part is this stuff here. So let's go ahead and explain that as we go along. So based on this current spread, assuming that I took the 11 park, I would write down the number 11. Let's say I wrote it down here. Let's say I wrote it down here, 11, and then I'll mark off one of these park spots. The park spots are up here at the top. If you look at a fresh sheet, note that there's nothing marked up here. And at the end of the game, you'll get points for your parks based on how far along you made on the park row. So if you look at this sheet here, which did, like I said, a great job of scoring, this particular person on the top row, they got 4 points at the end of the game for getting their parks up this high. They upgraded their parks that much. They got 6 points for their second row because they got it to that far. And they got 4 points for their third row because they got it that far. So the more times you take number combinations with parks, then you'll get to mark out the park. One caveat I should mention is that when you do take the number, the row that you wrote the number in is where the park has to go. Meaning that if I look at this sheet over here, if I wrote the number 11 here and this is already maxed out, too bad, it goes to waste. I'm not allowed to write the number 11 here and then mark off this park. So it has to be in the same neighborhood. These rows are considered neighborhoods. Okay. All right, the biz. Well, actually, let's move on to the next one. We'll get to them as we go. So then after everybody's chosen one of those pairs, then you move on to the next set of numbers. Now you have 10 fence, 2 fence, and 7 park. So what I can do is I can choose to write one of these numbers. So let's say I choose 2 fence. With fences, what they allow you to do, so I write number 2 here. I don't want to mess up the sheet, so I'm just going to pretend that I wrote it down here. So I write the number 2 here, and I can put the fence on any of my parks. So fences are extremely critical because they allow you to build your housing settlements or build your housing areas into smaller areas, to bisect them, make them smaller. And those are definitely necessary for goals because you have goal cards like these that exist, and they will require you in order to score them for their points, which if you're the first person to do it, you get the big points. And then anybody else that does it after the first person does it will get the smaller points. To be more correct, on the round that somebody claims this goal, everybody else can claim the goal as well, assuming they qualify for it, and get the maximum points. But after that round, anybody else trying to score that will only get the small points. So that means everybody can score it. If you're playing a game with 12 people, everybody can score it. But only people who get it on the same round can get the big points. Focus, there we can get the big points there. Okay, cool. But the reason I'm bringing that up though, is because in order for you to get this particular goal, you need to have 6 different size 1 houses. So that means that amongst your board, amongst all 3 of your neighborhoods, you need to have 6 houses that are size 1. And fences are what you use to actually separate the houses to make them those sizes. So in this case, this particular house here with this 4 has a fence on both sides, so it's considered a single unit home. This section here, this has a fence here, all these numbers are filled in, and a fence there. There's an implied fence, implicit fence on the end of each neighborhood. So this one counts as a 6, if I'm not mistaken. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, a size 6 house. So on and so forth. So fences are extremely critical because they allow you to split your houses up, and they're also used for scoring points down here. So just to bring our attention down here to this bottom section where all this nonsense is going on. At the end of the game, you're going to look at how many houses of certain sizes that you have and then get some points based on a multiplier. And what I mean by that is that in this case, for the size 1 houses, this particular player has 3 size 1 houses. So we can double check. Here's a size 1, there's a size 1, and there's a size 1. So it's 1, 2, 3 size 1 houses. They have no more size 1 houses, so they put 3. And then the multiplier that they get is they're going to multiply the number of houses that they have times the real estate value of that house, which we'll talk about once we get to the real estate number. So to look at another person's sheet, let's, oh, they didn't finish writing theirs down. Let's try this one. Sure, yeah, this one's perfect. So this one, in this case, they have 0 size 1s, 0 size 2s, they have 6 size 3s though, and they have 1 size 4, 0 size 5s, and 1 size 6. So if you look at this person's sheet, it's pretty definite as far as where they marked. You can see here that if we count out their size 3s, they have apparently 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, they have 6 size 3s. So I multiply 6 times the number showing, which is 5, because they upgraded their real estate twice during the game. So 6 times 5, they got 30 points for that. So pretty massive amount of points. For the size 1 house, sorry, for the size 4 houses, they have 1 of them. So if you look on their board, let's see, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a size 4. And there's no more completed size 4, so that's correct. So they will get 1 times the number showing, which they did not upgrade their size 4 houses, so they only get 1. Sorry, they get the 1 times 4. So they got 4 points. Size 5 houses, they don't have any. I do want to bring our attention to this section. So had the person put the number here, had the person been able to fill that in before the game ended, they would have a size 5 house. But because it's not filled in, yes, it's walled on both sides. Yes, they have numbers filling in most of them, but they need to have all of them filled in order to claim it as a size of that, or a house of that size. That's why the person has 0 for size 5 instead of 1 for size 5. So subsequently, they didn't get any points for that, unfortunately. Moving on to the last one, size 6. They have 1 size 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's all filled in with numbers, and they will get 1 of those times 6. So I got 6. So there you go. So that's how the fences work. Subsequently, we've also talked about the real estate value, and I'm just gonna fudge the numbers here so we can talk about it next. And the way real estate works is when you take the number with the real estate, so let's go to this blank sheet here. And if I want to take this number of 7 real estate, I will get to write the number 7 down wherever I want. So I can put the number 7, let's say I put it here. So I put 7 there. I'm not gonna write on it because I don't want to waste the sheet. But say I put the number 7 there, or wherever I put it. And then I can mark off any of these real estates. When you mark off the real estate, you always start from the top and you work your way down. So I can mark off this 6 real estate, for the size 6 houses, if I want those to be a better multiplier. So you're essentially making those a better multiplier, which means that the more of those size houses you have at the end of the game, the more points you're gonna get. So that's how the real estate works. It's probably the most confusing one amongst all these, but it is there. Definitely one that's important to know though, because you can score a lot of points with real estate, especially if you are able to get your houses built up correctly. All right, so I think we talked about fences, real estate, and parks. So next up is going to be pools. So the way pools work is that when you choose something with a pool, so if I do 6 pool here, then I write the number 6 down. So I say I write the number 6 here. If I were to write the number 6 here in this spot, I would get nothing special except for number 6. If I were to write the number 6 here in this spot, then I get to circle the pool and I get to mark off this pool spot. So going to one of our examples here, for this person, sure, let's just say that 4 pool is what they had. They put the number 4 here and it had a pool in that spot, so they circled the pool spot, and that's how they got the mark off down here. At the end of the game, you will score based on the lowest number showing, the lowest unmarked number showing. In this case, this person scored 13 points for their pools because of how they had things marked. So that's how pools work, pretty simple, straightforward. Pools have to be coupled with the space that you put it in. They're one of the few ones that has to go in the same space. What I mean by that is that if this is a 4 fence, for instance, just to confuse this a little bit, then they could put the 4 here and put the fence somewhere else, anywhere else that they want to. But because it's a pool, and if they want to take advantage of the pool's ability, they must put it in a spot with the pool. That does not mean that they have to put the number there. So in this case, shaving off that previous example, focusing on this one, let's say the person put the 6 pool here. They put the 6 here. There's no pool there, so they just do not get that benefit. Pretty simple, straightforward, that's all that means. Alright, next up is going to be construction. So the way construction works is when you choose a pair with construction, so this person chose, let's say this person chose 11 construction, they will get to do 2 things. Thing number 1, they will get to plus or minus their number by 0, 1, or 2. And then thing number 2 they'll do is they'll mark off one of these construction spaces down here. And these construction spaces, it's just based on how many you have marked off total. It doesn't matter which ones you mark off, although it makes sense if you mark them off starting from the top to the bottom, but it's up to you. If you want to go chaos, go full chaos. But going back to the thing I mentioned before, when I take this 11 construction, this is either a plus or minus 2, plus or minus 1, or plus 0. So what I mean by this, I can take this as a straight up 11, or I can take it as a 9, or a 10, or a 12, or 13. Sorry, I was doing math, it was difficult. So that means I can take it as a 9, 10, 11, 12, or 13. So I have 5 choices of numbers there, if I take it 11 construction. So constructions are pretty nice because they allow you to possibly go over the max. The biggest card that you'll see here is a 15. And that means the biggest number that you can get if you get a 15 construction is going to be 17, because you can go up to 17. The lowest you can go in this game is 0, so if you get a 1 construction, the lowest you can go is 0. There is no negatives, so be careful about that. Also, it's a good time to talk about the spread of cards. The number distribution in this is, because it's going to be cards have memory, the number distribution of this is going to be from 1 to 15, with 1 and 15 being the lowest likely to show up. I think there's 3 of those cards a piece, so 3 1s and 3 15s inside the deck, and the most prominent cards, the cards you're most likely to see, are 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in the middle. So just think dice, but with, yeah, those statistics. The rulebook does have a sheet on the first page that shows you your probabilities of getting certain numbers right there. So there you go. So you have 3 1s, 2s, 14s, and 15s, and then you have, yeah, there you go. Math. You can do your own probabilities if you want to, but that's available in the rulebook. Feel free to go back to that part in the video if you want to check it out. Anyway, so the last thing to talk about is going to be Biz. That's the only thing we haven't talked about yet. So let me move on to our next cards. Let me just find a Biz. So for Biz, we are going to essentially, if we take Biz, we take the number. So let's say I write down 14. So I'll write down this 14 here. And then when I do the Biz will allow me to, the power will allow me to duplicate a number in either direction. So in this case, I wrote the number 14 here, and then I can, after I write down the number, I can assess my board state, and then I can choose any number on my board in this row, this row, this row, or even the number I just wrote, and then duplicate it. Let's say that this space was blank, and I duplicate this 4. You can duplicate it to the left or to the right. You're making a duplex if you want to know what you're thematically doing. And you are duplexing, or making the duplex here. And when you do that, you write the number here, and then you put the word Biz, and then you mark off one of these Biz spots. These are worth negative points at the end of the game. These are worth negative points at the end of the game. So the more you use Biz, the more negative points you're going to get, but the more numbers you end up writing down on your board, because you're essentially writing 2 numbers at once. So there's a trade-off for that, so feel free to take it with a grain of salt. And then finally, now we've talked about all the powers. Finally, one thing to mention is that there is a mini expansion you can play with. I never, or variant, if you will, with the roundabouts. That's what this is. I have not really played with roundabouts. I think I played with it once, maybe. But I usually just tell everybody to just mark that out because we're not going to use it. If you have errors, as in if you have a number that you're not allowed to use, as in you have no legal places to put it, then you mark off an error. If you have 3 errors, if anybody has 3 errors, then the game ends that round. If anybody who's playing has filled out all of the houses, as in people have moved in, that's what the numbers represent. If anybody has filled out all the houses, then the game ends. And then finally, if anybody has finished all of the goals, because there's 3 different goal cards, if any one person has finished all 3 of the goals, whether they finish it first or second, doesn't matter, then the game will also end. So those are the 3 in-game triggers. Thus meaning that you can possibly shuffle through the deck a few times. Okay, cool. Alright, so that was about as comprehensive as a teach I was going to do. Anything else for questions and stuff, feel free to look in the rulebook. Let's go and get started up for our game, because it should take us probably another 30 minutes to make it through. So we shouldn't be breaking an hour here. Okay, so let's go and shuffle this. Oops. There we go. Try again. Okay. And last shuffle. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to cut the deck. And now we're going to make 3 separate stacks as evenly as possible. There we go. Good. Good enough. And then I'm going to position myself so I can have my stuff set up so we can see it. So I'm going to put my board down here so I can stay out of the focus area of the camera. And then we're going to get our goals. I'm going to put the numbers here. And as far as the powers go, I guess I'll keep it here. It's just a reference for anybody who's playing along. Maybe, especially if it's your first game, you might not know what's going on yet. So want to make sure you have. Actually, let's do it this way. Oh, perfect. Yeah, let's do it that way. I like that. That's great. Oh, man. I'm a genius. Sorry, I'm just trying to stare at my camera in positions properly. Look, we can even fit the box there. Okay, not quite. Okay, so there should be enough space for me to work with. And then we'll put our goals, I feel like I'm not using space. We'll put our goals up here. So the way we're going to do this is that if you're playing along at home, if you have your sheet and you have it printed out and ready to go, you'll be playing with the same cards that I draw. I will be playing as if I'm playing against somebody else, but solo, meaning that I'm not gonna flip things over when they happen. But if you gain something, if you grab one of these goals before I grab them on that round, then go ahead and just reduce my score by 4 points per one of those. What I mean by that is for every one of these goals, whenever somebody finishes a goal, well, actually, reduce it by the number of points necessary, I should say. But whenever somebody finishes one of those goals, it changes how many points they'll score. And then also, if you end up ending the game earlier than what I do, feel free to pause, take a peek at my sheet, add up my score, see how you did versus I did, or see how far I made it versus how far you made it, as far as points are concerned. So I'm going to try to play as aggressively as I can, because I know that some people might end up ending the game early, and I want to try to have the best victory possible against people. Hashtag not competitive at all. Hashtag totally in. And there we go. All right. Cool, so now we have all that settled. This is all set, and let's go ahead and start our game of Welcome to Community Edition. Like I said, feel free to play along and let me know how you all did in the comments, and also let me know what round, or what my score ended up being, if you are feeling so generous as to add up my score at that time. I'll try to put time markers in the video, so I'll put chapter markers, so that way you can see like round 1, round 2, round 3, and I'll try to do it that way, like R1, R2, R3, all the way up till I finish the game. So slight spoilers, but okay. Alright, so start. So we have 3 park, 13 pool, and 5 fence. Also, I'm doing this backwards. My apologies. Sorry. I gotta flip this. So... Sorry, I was used to playing solo. So what I mean by that is that I should... Because you should have a heads up as to what's coming next. So I had it backwards here. Theoretically, it's kind of the same thing, but it's not. So, take it with a grain of salt. Alright, there we go. So I have 3 park, 13 pool, and 5 fence. I think I want to go... Given that we have these goals up here... Oh, let me explain these goals, just in case you don't know. This one, if you have 2 sets of 2 5 houses, then you can claim the 8 points there for N1. N2, you have to finish all of the parks and all of the pools. Yes, I know this is 2, but the rulebook says all. You have to finish all the parks and all the pools for the 3rd row. So for this row, for this neighborhood. And then N3, you have to have a 2 and a 5. And if you have a 2 and a 5, then you can do that. Another note of caution, especially for those who are playing who are new, I did not explain this earlier, but for these goals, if you do accomplish the goal, you do have to mark off the back of the house. So if you look at the sheet here for Acorn, nope, not that one. Spoiling stuff here. If you look at this sheet here for Catopia, for this person, when they whatever thing they scored, they got a 4 and a 3 apparently. They marked out the back of this house. What this means is that this person who had Catopia was no longer allowed to split this anymore with fences, nor are they allowed to use this for any other goal. So what that means is that if you want to get both of these goals, you need to have 3 size 5 houses in your neighborhood, and you also have to have a 2. So that's just a note for anybody who's brand new, who hasn't played the game before, just to mention that now before it happens, just in case it does happen. Okay. Alright, public service announcement done. Let's see, I think a 13 pool will be nice, but I want to get my fences up as fast as I can. That proved to be a good strategy earlier. So I think we're going to do a 5 fence, and we want a size 5 eventually, so I'm going to do this here. Because this first one is 10 long, this is 11 long, this is 12 long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, So I want to try to get 5, 5, so I can at least get that. Maybe 5, 5, so I can go for that. Okay. Alright, assuming everybody's done, we're moving to the next round. So round 2. We have 4 fence, 10 pool, and 15 construction. So I think 15 construction is too good to give up. So also, but 4 fence can get me somewhere though. Nah, you know, 15, yeah, 15 construction. I'm doing 15 construction. So I'm going to do that as 17. So 17 here. And then I'll give everybody a moment to write down their stuff. Just get like a chess clock here. Okay. And next round, so round 3, will be 1 real estate, 7 biz, and 12 biz, or sorry, 12 real estate. Actually, I'll put this here. So this is a counter for our rounds. Actually, let's do that. There we go. So this is a counter for our rounds, so that way we'll know what round we're on. I mean, I don't have a 0, so we're just gonna do it that way. So we're in round 3. Anyway, I think one real estate seems nice. So I'm gonna do 1 real estate, and I'm gonna build up a bunch of 5s, so I'm gonna do that. Okay. Alright, next round. We have 8 park, 1 park, and 7 real estate. Looks like I gotta do the 8 park here. Yeah, I think 8 park is going to be probably the better move for me. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, fine. We'll do 8. Park. Alright, I'll let everybody else go ahead and assume that we're good. So we're moving on to round 4. So 8 real estate, 11 real estate, and 8 pool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going through. If you need to pause, feel free to pause the video. Or go back to the previous chapter to see the numbers. So that way we don't have the video going too much longer. I'm kind of committed to getting this all fixed up, but I think I need to move on to other pastures here. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just going to make it a little tight in this area. I think it's worth it. Although I can do it here instead. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, I'm doing it here. 8. Pool, because I do need to get all the pools and all the parks in this area. I forgot about that. So I need 2 more pools down here. Alright. Round 5. We have 11 construction, 6 real estate, and 8 park. Ooh, difficult choices here. 6 real estate is pretty nice. We'll do 6 real estate. Get our 5s up. So that's gonna be me. That's gonna be it for me on that round. So now we're gonna go to round 6. 15 fence, 9 biz, and 10 real estate. I think 15 fence is definitely the way to go. Especially since we have a park coming up soon. So 15 fence. And let's see, I wanna size 5 and a 2 somewhere. So let's see, this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, perfect. I'll put it here. Bam. Good. All right, 15 fence done. So we're going to, I didn't see that. Round 7. We have 10 park, 14 biz, and 10 fence. It's getting a little tough now. So I do want to get the parks and pools down here. So I think I'm going to do, this is 10, 11, 12, 13. I'll put a 10 here, because I want to have the best possible chance of getting into the pool in that right spot. So 10 park. Alright, we're going to round 8. Also, don't forget, if you're playing along at home, especially watching the YouTube video later on, if you're playing along at home, if you do achieve one of these before I even get to it, just, like I said, subtract that from my final score or whatever, to see how it did, or make sure you pause my score at the time. I mean, you might have to do some math, unfortunately, but we're just playing a community game here. Oh, I didn't name my town. I forgot. Another rule that I always have is the house rule. If you do not name your town by the end of the game, you score exactly 0 points. So I'm going to name my town. Acornia, the community. There we go. So I will at least score some points. So we're on round 8. So 7 fence, 11 park, and 5 construction. I think I'm definitely doing 11 park here. I kind of want to get my middle section built in, but I really need to, because I want to get the parks and the pools done so I can stop worrying about that and get the 7 points before anybody else does. Or sorry, get the 10 points. That's a lot of points before anybody else does. So we're going to round 9. Alright, so round 9. Let's see. We have 12 park, 6 fence, and 12 fence. I think I must, so I have to build in my middle section unless I'm going to use that 6. So 6 fence will be nice too. So 8, 7, 6. 6, and then fence. That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Alright. So 6 fence it was. So now we're going to round 10. 3 construction, 10 construction, and 11 park. So I can make this 3 construction. I keep it a 3 actually. Well, I can make it a 2. I'm going to make this a 2. So I'm going to do 2 construction here. And what that's going to do is that's going to make this a 3 or 4 pool can go there. Which means I'll be able to get that pool. Although, actually, I guess I don't care that much about that one. I care about this one down here. Okay, whatever. It's too late. I've committed. Alright, so round 11. Oops. 6 fence. 9 pool. And 8 real estate. I hear 9 pool is how you win a lot of games. Ha. StarCraft jokes. 9 pool. I'm definitely taking that one for here. So give me some nice points. Okay. So round 12. Once again, if the rounds are going a little bit faster than you're ready for, feel free to pause the video. So 5 park, 13 construction, and 9 fence. I think 5 park is definitely a winner. I'm getting there. I need 2 more pools and 2 more parks, and I can get that 10 points. So round 13. Round 13. We're at 7 real estate, 13 fence, and 13 park. I need that to be a pool, not a park, please. It's getting a little tough here. So 7 real estate it is. We're going to get our 5s up in points here. So next round. So round 14. Oh, sorry, I haven't been doing this right. Sorry. We're on round 14. Give me a second. Let me get myself correct here. Round 14. That's the whole point of the other die. Round 14. We are at 3 fence, 4 construction, and 7 biz. I think this has to be 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't have to be. I think 4 construction would be nice. Cause I can, yeah, I need that pool. Yeah, I'm gonna do 4 construction. Well, if I keep it open, then that means that I can do a 1, 2, 3, or 4 pool, and then get a biz to make that work. Actually, I'm just gonna take the biz now. I don't want the biz, because it's a 7. I don't want to burn my 7 right now. The dilemma. The dilemma. I do want the construction, though. Because I also want to make sure I finish this up here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4 construction, and I'm just going to make it a 4 construction. I'm just going to forego that pool up here. But that means I need one more number to finish that top row, and I'll be able to get 8 points in 1. Which would be pretty nifty for me. So next round, let us go round 15. 11 pool, 9 pool, and 2 biz. 11 pool is so close. I can put it here though, and that'll give me the thing. So I'm doing 11 pool here. That gives me a pool, and it also gives me goals. So I've officially finished in 1 with 8 points. If you have finished it before, then feel free to just subtract 4 points from my score. There we go. If you finish that this round on round 15, then you also get 8 points too. So don't fret if you've done it this round. And then moving on to round 16. Round 16 we have 7 park, 9 park, and 8 fence. Ooh, 9 park is really good. Yeah, 9 park. That's what I'm talking about. I need 1 more park. I need my pools to show up too. If they can show up, that'd be great. Okay, so round 17. 14 real estate, 8 real estate, and 9 fence. Alright, I guess I need to start filling out this middle one because I have not much else to do, huh? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're gonna do 14 real estate. No, I'm gonna do 9 fence. 9, and then I'll do a fence. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mark this off, my bad. That's important, so I don't break things up here. I do have a fence to use, but I cannot put it to break that up because I've used it for a goal for N1. Okay, so I did 9, and I gotta put a fence somewhere. I think I want a bunch of 5s, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So round 18. 10 real estate, 5 biz, 7 fence. 5 biz is great. I want 5 biz. It's gonna be worth a negative point. So this is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Sure. It's difficult. I don't know if I want to give up the pool. I guess. All right, we'll do 5 here, and then we'll duplicate, or we'll use the biz to do a biz here. So 5 BIZ. There we go. So round 19. We have 6 real estate, 6 real estate, 6 real estate, and 9 construction. Cool. I guess I want a 6 real estate. I guess at 9 construction would be a little bit safer though, because I can make it 11. Is a pool coming up too? Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna make that an 11. 11 11 construction, sorry. Set at 2. Alright, cool. It's all done for that. So round 20. Choose this as 0. Well, that's actually 20. But, sure. Round 20. Four real estate. 2 pool! Yes! Perfect. 5 real estate. 2 pool it is for me. Yeah, that's great. I need one more pool, and one more park, and I got it. Although that one more pool, one more park might be difficult. More difficult than it seems. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so round 21. 3 construction. Yes! 1 park. I can do that. 7 park. This is working out in my favor here. Got all the parks I need. I'm not gonna do that. Whew. This is feeling good. Feeling good. It always feels great when things work out. I just need that 13 or 12, 13, 14, 15 pool. So 11 biz. Oh, and I actually got another goal, didn't I? Oh yeah, I got that goal. Okay, sorry. On the last round, on round 21, I did get this goal. So if you got it before round 21, then feel free to deduct my points by 4. That's a 5 and a 2. Yep. So it's going to be 7 points for me. Otherwise, this is round 21 is when I claimed that. So round 22, finally on round 22, we have 11 biz, 4 fence, and then 12 real estate. It's getting a little tough here, isn't it? Guess I'm doing 4 fence. So 4, excuse me, 4 fence. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if I'll be able to take full advantage of all this, but we'll see, because I really want everything to be a 5. So worst case scenario, I don't get it. So 4 fence has been done. Round 23. 2 park. I don't need it. That's fine. Something biz, and then 8 biz. It's going to be a 4 biz, 8 biz. Ooh, I can only use an 8 biz. That's unfortunate. No, I can use a 2 park. Yeah, I'll use 2 park. 2 park. Round 24. Looking for more. So we got 9 real estate, 8. Oh, sorry. 50. Yes, 15 pool. Haha! I've succeeded. 15 pool. This is going to be 10 park. So 15 pool, 10 park, 9 real estate. I'm doing a 15 pool. I don't care if I got to use a biz to get that to work. I'm taking it. Taking all I can. So I will get another pool, and then I will claim. Oh no, I end the game. Ah! So foolish. I didn't want to end the game right now. Heck. Alright, well, I'm going to get 10 points. I guess it's worth it. I don't know if it was worth it. So I've achieved all the goals. So this game made it to 24 rounds. If you were playing along, and you ended the game earlier, feel free to reduce my score by that. You will have to do the math on your own. My apologies for that. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and do my scoring here. So we're into the scoring section. So I have 2 for park, 2 for park, and then 18 for park. And then construction. I'm gonna play by solo rules for my scoring on construction, but feel free to change my score however it makes sense for you. So when you play solo, you have to get 6 or more construction to actually get the 7 points. I did not get 6 or more, so I get 0. I'll just claim myself as 0. So once again, if you're playing at home, compare this to your scores, and then if you got more, then you get 7, and if I got less, or if you got less, then you get the 4. And you have to be competing in this to get the points. Okay, glad we discussed that. And then for the housing sizes, we have 3 5s and a 2, and that's it. 3 5s and a 2. So 3 of these 5s and a single 2. It's kind of sad. Zeros are across the board. My points did not come from that apparently. And then this is going to be 25 points. This is going to be 22 points. This is going to be 17 there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. And then 0, 2, 0, 0. 3 times 8 is 24. And 0. And minus 1. No errors. Let's see what my score is. So, I have 25 plus 22 plus 17 plus 0 plus 2 plus 24 plus, minus 1. So my final score ended up being 89. So if I made it to round 24 with your game, then my final score was 89. And yeah, just let me know how you did. Let me know how you did in the comments. I feel like I did pretty good. I was a little bit foolish to claim this goal. I think I wasn't paying attention. I was just filling in the numbers because I wanted the pools and the parks. And I accidentally ended up finishing that one, which in hindsight, I could have avoided that by simply not drawing a fence earlier and maybe draw a fence later at my leisure, because there's a fence coming up, which I could have definitely put that fence coming up, that 8 fence. So strategically speaking, I did not choose wisely. If I could have made it go to round 25, then I would have been able to put a fence, maybe give myself some more points or fill in something somewhere, at least to get another point. I don't know. There's always like, it's always weird, and weird in a good way in my opinion. It's always weird to figure out how you can min-max this game, and then especially since it's a video, you can go back and then just try to min-max the game based on the video, look at the cards and how they came out, and say, okay, what will be the most or the highest score that you can make out of this video, since you have the hindsight of being able to go back and look at each round and compare all the numbers. Probably millions of combinations, maybe not millions, definitely thousands of combinations that you can get from that. Different iterations. So yeah, so my final score being 89, I think I did pretty okay. But then again, if I were playing against normal people, they might have claimed some of these goals, so my score will be 89 plus or minus, let's see, 89 plus or minus 4, 5, 4. So 89 plus or minus 13 points. Which is not awful. Also, if the game had ended earlier because of errors or because of other reasons, then my score could be definitely lower. But it's 89. I'll put plus or minus. No. Put plus or minus 13. Actually, that'll be 39. Well, it wouldn't be plus or minus 13. It would be. Yeah, no. We'll do 13 divided by 2. Oh man, you can't divide 13 by 2. So it's my score is 82 plus or minus 7. There. That's how you do that. Math is hard. Math is difficult. Anywho, so definitely let me know what you all think of the game. I enjoy Welcome to a lot. I'll do a separate review video, so be on the lookout for that. But I do overall enjoy it. It's a pretty fun time, and it always goes well once people get over the hump of the initial rule set as far as what it does and how to do the powers. But other than that, yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it, and as always, I will see y'all whenever.